Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this satisfying planet called Earth, I hope you are having a sweet day, evening, or night, wherever you are located. As you can see, we still in our beloved Blender, one of the world's greatest 3D application. It may be number one application because it's free. Just by making it free and just by so polished that it is, realistically, it may be the world's greatest 3D application because it's free and it's highly professional. So from a logical point of view, it may be the world's greatest 3D application because it's open source. I'm going to be talking about nodes. In this case, I'm going to be talking about the glare node. Now, as you can see, as I always like to say, I like to try to make something when I do my video to show I got a little bit of artistic skill. Because you all know, as I preach 1,000 times, most YouTubers who do Blender, all they love to show is Harold the Cube, that plane, and Susanna the monkey. They don't even let you know if they can really do it, but I guess if they're doing nodes, they do know something. But anyway, I'm a beginner in the nodes. I've only been experimenting for using nodes for a couple months now. But I'm starting to realize how powerful nodes are. I'm learning about the compositor, that's my main focus, and I know about the shader nodes. I just have scant information on them, but I know the compositor is powerful, and the shaders is powerful because the shader actually affects your actual mesh. You know, the compositor, and affects the environment. So let's get right into this node. And as you see, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, so I'm nostalgic for the old school television set. As you can see, them things were about, I guess they were over like 300 pounds. To move these 1990 television sets, the floor model, it took about two people to move that bastard. You see how heavy it looked. I guess my next one, I might make a flat screen. Alright, so let's start with this glare node. Now, let me go to my compositor. Let me get my view one up. I like to have my view node to add, or you can hit Shift A, filter. Sorry, I don't want that. I want output. I want the viewer. I like having the viewer node, and let me hit V to make it smaller. Let me click on a little X in the center. The X in the center so I can move it around. Alright, good. There's my 1990, 1980, 1970 color television set showing that claims Star Trek Enterprise. Okay. Alright, so what I wanted to go over, there are two ways of using the glare node. And let me activate it now. I'm going to hit Shift A in this case. Shift A, go to Filter, and I want to choose Glare. There it is right there. Now, I want to go over something first with the glare node. Let me hit M. Let me minimize it. I want to discuss something first. At first, you see my Enterprise television screen. I wanted to make that my glare object, but I discovered. Now, if I'm wrong, somebody in the comment section correct me. But I discovered when you have an image on top of the mesh, I could not make that a glare object. It seemed like glare object has to be a mesh with no image on it. So I'm going to say it again. At first, I wanted to have my television screen right here where this Enterprise at. I wanted to have that glow. After manipulating something, scratching my head, trying to figure it out, I discovered, at least for me, that I could not make a television screen a glare object. A glare object has to be a simple mesh with no UV texture on it of any kind. Because I have it, my little Enterprise, that's a UV scene right there. UV unwrapped it. And also I want to say, before I get into the nodes, I've been working with UV maps for the last month or so, and I'm discovering how powerful they are, because you all know, let me zoom in. Let me zoom into my enterprise. Let me go back to layout mode. You all know there is no way that I know where I can make the enterprise like this in Blender. The only way I could do it if I subdivided this flat screen 1 billion times. And that would slow down the computer. With the UV map, you just put a flat surface and you throw your image on there, and that's it. So that thing powerful. So if you want to learn how to do UV maps, I have a video about simple UV maps. How to do it. Alright, let's go back to the compositor. Alright, so I said I could not make a glare with this television screen. It had to be a simple object like my rock here. Okay, so let me activate my glare. Oh, I hit M, and if you don't know, to activate your a node, to deactivate, you just hit the key M. So I'm gonna put that right here. No, I'm not gonna write it here. So I'm just gonna say I don't have enough writing space. I'm just gonna say to deactivate your node, you hit M. To activate it like it is now, I hit M again. So that's a cool feature to see if it's taking effect. And we see the glare is taking effect. That's step 1. So you get the idea. You got your and this is why I like looking at the viewer node too. See, even I have the viewer node right here in the middle, and I have my render node at the bottom. But the render node is not registering. It's not registering anything yet until I render it. Let me render this thing and see what happened. I thought it was supposed to be keeping it updated, but it's not working. It's not doing it. See, now it's rendered. So to reiterate, see, the good thing about the viewer node, it updates in real time. I know some people don't like the viewer node because it's in the back, but the thing I like about it, it updates in real time. I just had this viewer node down here in the lower left, so I just can see how the render look. But the viewer node, it updates. So let's get back to my this glare node. So I can hit streak. You see my there's a streak effect on my my so-called rock that I put on the table. Let's go to ghost. Alright, that ghost, you see it's producing like a glass effect. Cause I see some streaks around here. It's like a sunlight effect with the ghost. At least in my mind, it's like a sunlight effect. I got it on ghost. I'm gonna put it on fog glow. Okay, so I like that. So I think most people like to use the fog glow a lot. I have it on simple star. Okay, that looks nice. Now these iterations, let's experiment with the iterations. I should read the actual Blender page. So I'm gonna go right to the Blender page and see what it says about this glare node. If my computer, because I'm using a slower computer, it's an i7, but it may be like a 3rd or 4th generation i7. So let me type in here Blender. I'm going to YouTube now. I'm on Google. Blender glare. No. So let's see what it says on the actual Blender page. And so when you start using these nodes, you will go to the Blender page. So when I was just doing regular modeling, I never look at the Blender page much, because I just was shaking something. But when you use these nodes, you use this page. So it said the glare node. The glare node is used to add lens flare. Fog glows around exposed parts of an image and much more. Okay, it ain't work on my image. The inputs, the image, we did that. Properties, we learned about ghost streaks. Oh, ghosts create haze over the image. Streaks create streaks used to simulate lens flare. Streaks total, number of streaks. So let's see this streaks total. Let me go back to my Blender. I don't see no streaks totals up on here. I see iterations. So iterations. The number of times to run through the filter algorithm. Higher values will give more accurate results, but will take longer to compute. So keep that in mind. If you click on iterations, it may increase your render time. Note that This is not for fog glow, as it does not use an iterative based algorithm. So I guess for fog glow, it don't use you shouldn't use iteration. So I'm just gonna click on it anyway and see what happens. I have it on 3 now. Let me increase it to 4. Okay, you see it? Yeah, it's giving it a greater intensity, so that will speed up your render time. And so far, just stopping at 5. I'm gonna type in 10. So for iterations, your maximum value is 5. I'm putting it on 0 and see what happens. Okay, 0. It's a slight glow to it. It looks like kryptonite a little bit. Yeah. So this is a good. Since I used to read Superman comics a lot, the glare is a good thing to use for kryptonite. You know, kryptonite usually glow. I have it on 2. It's not doing much. Okay, 3. So it comes more pronounced with 3. Let me see what it said about the mix. I'm going to the Blender page again. Mix. Value to control how much of the effect is added on to the image. A value of -1 will give just the original image. 0 gives a 50-50 mix, and 1s give you the effect. So let me go experiment with that. I'm gonna put -1 in here for mix. -1. Okay, yes, that's my original one, but it's still got that glare effect to it, but it's not doing nothing. Oh, and I know why I got that glare effect on there. I'm gonna cover that in a few minutes. Why it's glowing? I'm gonna value of 0. Okay, it's glowing. 1. Oh, that affect the whole background deck, but it's still glare. But I guess you wanna stay away from 1. Can I put a decimal number in here? Yes, it does take decimal numbers too. See, it didn't say that on the Blender page. Threshold. Let's see what it said about threshold. Threshold. Pixels brighter than this value will be affected by the glare filter. I don't understand what is it saying. Alright, let me just go back to it. Alright. I'm gonna give a threshold of a 0. Oh, so that's basically affecting the background right there. I'm gonna put it back to 1. Was it on 1 before? I'm gonna put it on 2. Okay, so I guess the highest number is 1. I'm put it on 5. Okay, so if it's on a high number, it does make it look normal. I'll put it back to 0. Nope. Well, it was 1 originally. I'll leave it there. Okay, so that was the threshold. What about this fade? What does Blender say about fade value? Okay, on this page, you don't say nothing about fade, so I guess that's something new. So this page may be old. Let me try fade. I'm gonna give it 0. It's always gonna start with 0. Okay, 0. Okay, it won't go down to 0. We'll put 1. I got to experiment with that more. Oh, and here's your rotate too. Rotate 45 degrees. That's automatic. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom in some more so you can see that. See when I hit V. Okay, Shift V. Let me see. Oh, I can click on a little. Click on the ruin node. V again. Oh, V make it smaller. So let me hit Shift V. Alt V. Yeah, Alt V makes it bigger. Alright, I'm gonna click back on that rotate when I say 45 degrees. Alright, so it's still glowing, but when I click on rotate 45 degrees, it give it more. Alright, so that's the first way of manipulating the glare effect. Now I'm gonna go to the second way of doing it, which may be easier. I'm gonna put it on Eevee. Okay. The second way of doing it is in the properties menu. You have to click on the one where my mouse at. What's it called? Render properties. I have it clicked on bloom already. That's why I was glowing. I'm going to take it off of bloom. And see, it's not glowing anymore. To me, this may be the easy way of doing it right here. And it's for this. Oh, but I get to control the hose. I clicked on this. I'm going to click on bloom again. You got your threshold right here. Oops, bloom. I'll put it And it's always good to experiment. Okay, it's affecting the whole scene. So I guess if you come to bloom, yeah, I think it may affect your whole scene. The node may just affect your object. The bloom may just affect the whole scene. I'm gonna click on knee. Knee. I don't see what's happening with knee. And okay, radius. Okay, but you see it is doing something to it. Intensity. We know what intensity means. How powerful it should give off its light effect. So that's a intensity and clamp. I gotta read about that. I give it 45. But here's the main difference. Bloom compared to the node. With bloom, I can change the color immediately. See, it's a blue effect now. So the bloom is green again, red, blue, yellow. That's the benefit of using the render properties. So it's up to you, my good people. You either can use the compositor, the glare compositor, or you can come to render properties and click on bloom. Oh, and the most important thing before you even do it, in your material type, you have to have it on emissions. So your surface, you have to put it on emission. I should have said that first. I'm sorry for that. But to get a glare effect, you must have it set to emission. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you gained some enlightenment from this video about how to make certain objects glow, because you know when you start making larger scenes, we will have something in that scene glowing. It may be the light bulb. You may have the sun glowing. It's definitely, if you're outside, the sun, even the moon, we all will have at least one glow effect, whether it's small or large. As I always say, never give up. You see, I don't give up. And I'm over 40. I'm doing Blender at the age of over 40. I'm still using the 3D stuff because I like it. I enjoy it. It's almost like you become God almost. You become a God. Whatever world you want to create, you can create it. Alright, so keep going. Never give up. Never stop. Just keep learning. No matter what pace you're going. Long as you moving forward. The Blender will never give up on you. The Blender Foundation will never give up on you. So don't stop. Don't quit. Keep moving and keep growing. Until the next time, Blender family. Peace.